if you guys are watching this back home or on a pre-recording, again, I really appreciate it. It does help to put the comments in the chat or in the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube. Hope you guys can hear me properly. Maybe give me a thumbs up or something if you guys can hear me properly. Just want to make sure the audio is all good. You got JP in there, you got Andre in there. Awesome. See some hearts in there. So I'm assuming you guys can hear me properly. So the BRRRR strategy, let's get right into it. We got Jeff in there. BRRRR strategy in 2023. Okay, so welcome everyone to the channel, to the Patrick J. Hilaire Show or Real Estate with Pat, depending on when you're watching this. And essentially today we'll be talking about a strategy for investing in both residential and commercial real estate that actually has the potential to earn a steady stream of passive income that's going to allow you to build generational wealth. And this is going to be using the buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and then repeat strategy. So essentially, you have my board back here. I had to write that backwards so that you guys can see it. But essentially, how the strategy works, and we'll dive right into it, is first you want to buy most likely a distressed property or at least a property that's under market value. So it'll be at a lower price than what the market would pay for it. This could be a fixer-upper or a property that needs some TLC. That's kind of a key word you'll be using when looking and doing your marketing. TLC standing for tender love and care. And by purchasing this property at a lower price, that allows us room for improvements and thus increasing the value. So this is what we call forced appreciation. We're actually forcing the value into this property. Next step is number here is going to be our reno. So we'll want to renovate and modernize the property. This could include some cosmetic updates such as kitchen, bath, flooring, or paint, or it could even be some more significant renovations like, doing some structural work, which I actually recommend that you don't do, especially if you're a newer investor. By making these improvements, you'll be able to increase the value of that property and it'll make it much more attractive to potential tenants, but also forcing the value so that you can actually add value and get that ARV that you're looking for. ARV standing for after repair value. Next step, number 3, is going to be to rent out that property. We want to rent it out to reliable tenants. So once those renos are completed, it's time to find some tenants that will rent out the property to. We want to make sure that you screen your potential tenants carefully, right? We want to make sure that there's a clear rental agreement. We want to make sure there's a smooth landlord and tenant relationship. And all this is done by having clear systems. This is something that I teach my coaching students on how to manage your property properly, okay? Next part is my favorite part, is the refinance. So the refi is essentially, we're going to refinance the property and take advantage of that increase of value that we've done due to our renovations. So by refinancing the property, we'll actually be able to potentially even lower our monthly mortgage if interest rates went down. Now interest rates seem to be going up or stabilizing, so that might not be the case. So that is a case-by-case basis. But also, we're going to free up some cash, tax-free, towards our next investment property. So a perfect BRRRR means that we're actually refinancing out our down payment and our renovation money. That would be a perfect BRRRR. Now, a better than perfect BRRRR is we actually pull out a little bit of extra cash that we can use. So the best BRRRR I've done was essentially pulling out $30,000 on top of paying out my down payment, paying my renovations, and my money partners. And I got to keep 30 grand. That actually allowed me to start doing multiple deals at the same time. Step 5 is going to be the repeat. So we actually want to repeat this process with the new property. Once we've refinanced, we were going to recoup our down payment and our renos, and we can start the process all over again. We can get this into a new property. And if you follow this method properly, you can potentially earn a very steady passive income stream start building that income and that wealth over time. Now, something that's important is that with any type of real estate investing, there's always going to be some form of risk. Okay, so you want to make sure that you do your due diligence, research before diving into real estate venture, maybe get a coach or mentor, take some courses. And some of these also will include getting a home inspection before you buy the property, understanding your local real estate market, right? I'll spend months, if not years, looking at a local real estate market before even jumping in, right? Now, that's just me. I'll take a little bit longer, but once I understand the market, then I can make some decisions very quickly and start buying very quickly, right? You also want to work with a reputable real estate agent or even a financial advisor and brokers. This is just going to allow you to really understand the market and speed things up, right? You can learn, but at the same time, if you stick with professionals, you're actually going to speed up your learning process. However, if you're willing to put in the work, do the research, buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat, this method is going to be an awesome way to invest in residential real estate and build wealth over the long term. Okay, that's quickly a rundown there. We see Fiona commenting, Queen is here. Awesome. And then for YouTube, I'm just going to do this just to signal that that's where we're going to put off the YouTube video in the future. But essentially, for you guys, thank you so much for watching Real Estate with Pat and this live video. If you guys have questions or would like to see more content on real estate investing, leave a comment and I'm going to answer them. A little bit of Q&A right now. For you guys watching back home, put that comment or that like and make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel or this Instagram channel as well. You just like to stay up to date with these videos. Stalls with the comment, you the man, Patty. Hey, appreciate you, man. Awesome. Fiona Faye is going to jump on the laptop to watch this. Repeat this live vid again. Yeah, there will be a repeat. I'll definitely repeat. It's going to get saved as well, and you guys can watch it as well. But yeah, if you guys have questions, let me know. Got some time here. I'm just going to enjoy a little bit of tea. But BRRRR strategy is really like the buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat. This is how I really built that portfolio very quickly, right? And without using much of my own money. I only used my own funds when buying my first ever home, which was actually a house hack, so I didn't have to BRRRR that one. But every single deal after that was just raising money and continually doing this. And this is how you actually build a brand, right? Like how to build a brand in real estate investing is by consistently paying out your money partners. And in the beginning, it was very difficult to get money partners. Like people always ask, like, how do you do these deals using none of your own money? But how I did that is by always documenting the process, right? You don't have to be fancy with anything. You don't need much like clickbaity type of marketing. But if you're just really good at what you do, it's very easy, quote unquote, to build that reputation in the city and then start essentially being able to raise money to do more deals, be more efficient, and even you start getting deals with your contractors and subs. Stalls is asking, looking to buy my first home this year and do a house hack. Any insights on the current interest rates and housing market? Ooh, good question. So here I was actually just talking to a student and he's like a high performance financial abundance student who's also a realtor. We found with the market a little bit, and he's been seeing that there's a little bit of dip in prices and the amount of homes that are getting listed. A lot of homes are actually getting pulled off listings, and it's a mix of interest rates going up, but also buyers being a little bit more fearful. So I would actually be very aggressive, especially buying that first house, in the sense that you can start giving a little bit more lowball offers, right? And by doing that, you're going to be able to beat the competition, because the competition is like not really out there, oddly enough. And by essentially making sure that you're buying properly. So you got to be able to understand your maximum allowable offer. Bunch of videos you can find on that, but essentially your MAO, maximum allowable offer, is the most that you should be paying for that house so that you can have a house hack that makes sense. Now for you, in this case, A house hack, usually you'll probably break even, maybe make $100, $50 a month in cash flow, but you get your foot in the door as a landlord and you get all the experience necessary to be essentially a real estate investor. So even if you break even if you only make like $50 to $100 a month, it's still worth your time just because, hey, you get into the right deal, even the interest rates are a little bit higher. There's like this, not really a quote, but it's like a saying that's been a little bit more popular in the market right now is that you date the interest, but you marry the price, right? So meaning if price is permanent, unless you refinance later on, but essentially the interest rate, you're dating that for X amount of years, because then you're going to negotiate your mortgage terms in like a few years, 5, 3. I have mortgages as long as 7 years for the terms. And that's going to allow you to determine, okay, what are going to be the new terms for the interest rates. So I wouldn't worry too much about interest rates as long as you know how to analyze that deal properly and make sure that you still cash flow or at least break even, because then you still get all the advantages, whether that's tax or experience of doing your house hack. So hope that helps solves. If you're interested, there is a link in my bio. We can do a free real estate strategy session. Can break it down based on your own situation. I'll build you a free customized real estate roadmap based on where you're at. And it does help now that I know that you want to do a house hack. So awesome. Eman's in the chat. Matt is in the chat as well. Welcome. We got BRRRR. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name, man. Can I invest is that 50? No, it's $5,000 only. I used to take $5,000 only. Send me a DM. Usually I do that for friends and family. My minimum now for money partners is 10 grand. So mostly because, like $5,000 at, under 10%, it's going to be like what, 42, 41 and a half dollars per month. That's not necessarily going to change your life. If you're interested in real estate and you're looking at investing a small amount of $5,000, honestly, I would put that towards education. Like your $5,000 invested into yourself, not someone else's business, has the potential to turn that into 50 grand. Like you do one good deal, you learn a little bit of real estate. That $5,000 can go very far, especially if you still need to learn a little bit of the basics of entrepreneurship and running a business. So if you are interested, let me know. And then, yeah, we could do a strategy session, just like I offered stalls there. But hey, like $5,000, invested passively is not going to necessarily change your life. It can definitely transform your skills. Got a question here. Jeff asks, besides the ARV and maximum allowable offer, what other calculations would definitely be considered to execute a BRRRR? Awesome. So maximum allowable offer is important. MAO. ARV after repair value is going to be important. And then another one for sure is going to be cost of renovations and cost of money. So let's start with cost of renovations. By understanding how to be able to estimate your renovations and then get an actual breakdown line by line of how much your renos are going to cost, that's going to allow you to calculate your maximum allowable offer. It's very difficult in a BRRRR to calculate your maximum allowable offer if you don't know your renovation costs, right? So at least having an estimator, let me know, I can send you one there just because you are one of my financial abundance students. But essentially being able to understand renovations and estimate renovations and go very far. We got Brandon Urch in there. Welcome to the chat. And then you also asked another calculation that you'll need, and that's going to be cost of money, right? So if you're borrowing money, whether that's private money, hard money lending, even buying and paying for renovations on a credit card, you need to calculate how much that's costing you on the month to month, and then spread that out through how long you think the renovation will last. By doing this, you will essentially be able to add that extra expense because that is going to affect your actual maximum allowable offer. When we use rules of thumb, we're not necessarily calculating that in, but the cost of your money and what is also called holding costs is going to be very important for managing your BRRRR. Because if the longer you hold that BRRRR, without refinancing it or without having tenants, the more you're going to incur in expenses, whether that's paying for insurance, paying for some hydro and electricity bills, water bills that are going on while you're still renovating. And then also every month you're incurring an expense that you're going to pay out to your money partners because they got to get paid as well. So those are a couple of calculations aside from just maximum allowable offer and ARV as well. Joe was in the chat. Welcome. Cool. Yeah. If you guys have other questions, you can ask them in the chat or put them in the comment here. Could be anything about the buy, reno, rent, refinance, and repeat strategy, or could be anything else related to real estate as well. Cool.